Today we're doing 7.2b, where we're going to talk about adding and subtracting rational expressions and simplifying complex fractions. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is factor if you need to. If they share the term, you only need one. It's kind of like finding your, kind of like GCF, but you're finding your least common multiple, or you can think of it as like common denominators. Okay, you're trying to find what the common denominator would be between the two terms. So then once you have, whatever they have the same, you write once. Whatever they don't have the same, you have to write that as well. Are you understanding anything I'm saying? Okay, so let's just do an example. Okay, so 4x. Do you guys realize that 4x is really the same thing as like 2 times 2 times x, if you factor that down? Yeah. Okay, and see over here you have 2 times x minus 1. So if we're trying to find a common denominator between 5x and 2 parentheses x minus 1, what do you think that common denominator would be? Well, okay, so let's go through this. See how they both share a 2? Do we see that? So we only have to write that 2 one time. Okay? But do you see how there's another 2 here? They don't share anything else in common. So we need that other 2. We need that x, and you need the x minus 1. So, like I said, anything that they have in common, you only have to write once, and everything else you have to write once as well. And then you multiply all that together. So the common denominator, or LCM, would end up being 4x times x minus 1. That's your answer for right now. They're just wanting you to find the LCM, the least common multiple. So let's go to example 2 and try it. So you want to factor both of these out. Okay? So what can 9x squared minus 16 factor to be? What is it? Good. 3x minus 4 and 3x plus 4, because that is a difference of squares. Okay, now for 3x squared minus 2x minus 8, how will I factor this one? Your bottom's up, over, under. So we're going to go over by 3. And we get x squared minus 2x minus, and 8 times 3 is 24. Okay, so now what multiplies to be negative 24 and adds to be negative 2? Very good. So you have x minus 6 and x plus 4. But whenever we go over, we also need to go under. What number am I going under by? 3. Under by 3. Very good. And 3x plus 4. Okay, so now we look, which ones do they share? Which ones do they have in common? Okay, so 3x plus 4, this one, and this one, I only have to write how many times? Once. Okay, and if you want to, you could kind of even like cross those out. Okay, those are done. Now, do they share anything else? No. So we still need the 3x minus 4. So I did that one. And we still need x minus 2. And that is your LCM, your least common multiple. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Everybody's supposed to vote. Thank you. Okay. You're hilarious. All right. So on example 3 now, we actually have to simplify this. So we're going to basically do what we just did, is find your common denominator. Okay, but this one's pretty easy because can I factor the bottom on either one? So what would be my common denominator? Exactly, x plus 4, x plus 6. So what I like to do is make new fractions, and I have my minus sign there still in the middle, and my common denominator is going to be x plus 4 and x plus 6, because nothing is the same, so I just have to write both of them. Do we all agree with that? Are we good? Does that make sense? So it's just like if my bottom was like a 3 and a 5. I'd have to multiply them together and my bottom would be 15. So it's just I'm multiplying x plus 4 and x plus 6 together. for the bottom. So if this one has x plus 4, what do I need to multiply the top and the bottom to get this common denominator? Good. So x plus 6, I have to multiply this fraction by. So you're going to distribute the 3 through the x plus 6, and what do I get? 3x plus 18 is correct. So on this one, I already have an x minus, or an x plus 6, but I need an x plus 4. So what do I multiply by? To the top and the bottom. Now, you don't really want this minus sign in between. We want this to be a plus. So I'm going to put the minus sign up here at the -1 to end up making both of these a plus. And we distribute -1 through there. So what do we end up with on the top there? Negative x what? Minus 4. Good. Now you can combine your like terms on the top. So 3x and negative x makes a 2x, and 18 and negative 4 makes positive 14. And this is over x plus 4 and x plus 6. Now if you can factor the top, you want to factor it because sometimes you can end up reducing. So can the top factor? What does it become? We can take out a 2 and we're left with x plus 7. Now did anything cancel? No, but that's my answer. Question. Can you wait till the notes are over?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Questions before moving on? All right. Okay, example 4. What do you think we have to do first on this? Very good. So x squared plus 5x minus 14. What will this factor to be? Good job, Joey. X minus 2 and x plus 7. Okay? Those add to be positive 5, multiply to be negative 14. So, by raising your hand, who thinks that they know what the common denominator would be for this problem? They share x plus 7, but that wouldn't be the common denominator. Good, both of them. Okay, because remember, when we factored them out, when they share something, we just write it once. And then anything else we have to write once as well. So what is our common denominator going to be? Very good. It is going to be x minus 2 and x plus 7. Okay, so my first one, is there anything I need to multiply to the top and the bottom? No, because it already has x minus 2 and x plus 7, correct? So I just rewrite what's on top. So we have x squared minus 5. On this one, what am I missing? So we have to multiply by x minus 2 to the top and the bottom. And how do you think we have to multiply this? You have to use your box or FOIL method. Okay, so let's go ahead and box that. And we have x and 3 and x and negative 2. When we multiply, we get x squared, negative 2x, positive 3x, and a negative 6. These are our like terms. So I end up with x squared, 3x and negative 2x is good, and then minus 6. But we don't like this minus sign, so what am I going to do with that minus sign? Good, you're going to distribute it to everything on the top. Okay, so when I distribute it, this is going to become a minus, this is going to be a minus, and my 6 is going to be a, very good. And then you can change this minus to a plus, because I just distributed it to everything on the top. Now you combine like terms. So x squared and negative x squared cancel out. We have negative x, and then negative 5 and positive 6 make what? Plus 1. And on the bottom I still have x minus 2 and x plus 7. Is there anything I can do to this to make it so it cancel out with anything on the bottom? No. So that's my answer.
Wait, the x squared and the negative x squared can cancel out?
Yeah. What's x squared minus x squared? What's 1 minus 1? Yeah. Okay, questions? All right, now for the more difficult one. And why do you think example 5 is more difficult? 3. Okay, what is x squared minus 25 factor to be? Okay, what would be my common denominator? You're amazing. Good. X minus 5, x plus 5, and x plus 3. So I'm writing that with 3 fractions because that's what I have up there to make sure I don't forget anything. Helena, we're taking notes. I don't know if you realize that.
I do realize that. I have stuff on my paper.
Okay. Just doesn't seem like you're focusing. Okay. What am I missing on the first one? X plus 3. So I have to multiply the top and the bottom by x plus 3. Okay? So when I multiply x plus 3 times x plus 3, what should I do? Okay, go ahead and make a box. So I have x and 3 and x and 3. When I multiply, I have x squared, 3x, 3x, and 9. Those are my like terms. So on the top, I have x squared plus 6x plus 9. Am I going too fast? Okay. What am I missing on this one? Yeah, which is kind of annoying. X plus 3 and x plus 5. So we have to multiply 2 of them out, get that answer, and then multiply it by the third one. So this one's going to take a little bit of work. So I'm going to go ahead and just do x plus 3 and x plus 5 together first. So I have x and 3 and x and 5. When we go through that, I get x squared, 3x, 5x, and 15, which makes x squared plus 8x plus 15. Okay, so I multiplied those two, and now I need to multiply it by x minus 1. So we have a 3 by 2. So I have x squared, 8x, 15, and x and negative 1. We get x to the third, 8x squared, 15x, negative x squared, negative 8x, negative 15. Remember that your like terms are in your diagonals, right, Michael?
Yeah.
And so we get x cubed plus 7x squared plus 7x minus 15. But remember, because of this negative, I'm going to end up doing what? Distributing it. So this is going to be a negative, a negative, a negative, and a positive. And then I can change that to a plus. On my last one here, I'm missing x minus 5 and x plus 5. Right? Okay, which is really x squared minus 25. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
So instead of writing x minus 5, x plus 5, I'm going to write x squared minus 25 because it's already multiplied out. And then we have to distribute the 3. So I get 3x squared minus 75. Okay, I'm going to simplify now. So x squared negative 3x, or sorry, we're going to start here. Negative x cubed is my largest exponent. I'm going to cross that out because it's done. X squared and 3x squared makes 4x squared. Okay, that's done. Oh, what? I forgot one. Which makes what? Nope. Negative 3x squared. So now that one's all done. Okay, 6x and negative 7x is negative x. 9 and 15 is 24, and negative 75 makes negative 51.
Is that a plus on the 6?
This is a negative 3. And then you still have your denominator as x minus 5, x plus 5, and x plus 3, and the top does not factor, so that is our answer.